Hey, what's going on? It's Coach Jones with a lead up talk. I want to talk about letting your past, no matter whether it's circumstances, situations, experiences, incidents, just how you grew up, the community you were in, how you can let that be serve as motivation, however, not let it dictate to you. I think that's important because a lot of times we will allow what we go through to dictate to us how we should act and what we end up doing. I'll use me as an example. I grew up a certain way, and it was, I grew up without my real father. And a lot of failed expectations, a lot of missed opportunities, not on my part, and it was just a lot of things that kind of made me develop into this person of control, trying to control the outcome, trying to control my environment, because I don't want people leaving me, or I don't know what this is going to happen. Had a hard time trusting people, started developing a fear, and that's what control comes from. Fear. It was all based on what I didn't have, or the experiences that I had, should I say, growing up. And as I got older, it became a problem. It was more so the perfectionism. Then I saw myself giving it off to in my family, in my marriage, in my kids, that, good enough ain't good enough. You got to be great. You can't make a mistake. You got to be perfect. And I use that example because it wasn't until honestly recently, I'll say less than a year, that God gave me the realization and the revelation of, you're still struggling from the past, and those pasts have made you develop bad habits. I realized that I've been letting it dictate. I've been letting my past pain dictate to me instead of motivate me. The difference is, when you're motivated and inspired to be better. But when you're dictated, you feel like you're forcing yourself to be better. And there's a difference, because when you're inspired and you're motivated, it's that intrinsic want to be better. When you're dictated, or you have that dictation inside to, hey, I have to be better, you're going to start developing habits that aren't good for you. You're going to start doing things that are problematic for you, problematic for others, and ultimately can destroy you. I rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Yes, I succeeded in one aspect, but I failed in another. I'm not saying you should not try hard. I'm not saying you shouldn't try to be great at what you do. What is the pushing force? Is it motivation, or is it dictation? And a lot of times your past will do one or two things. It can motivate or dictate. Last thing I'll leave you with is this. I saw a video of a guy who he was talking about his work ethic and how, his businesses, he has these business ventures, and he's doing this, and he's working out, and he's doing these things. And it was very good. It was actually motivational. But then he said, well, he doesn't sleep. He said, everybody, a lot of y'all like to sleep. A lot of y'all like to enjoy, or take time away. And I'm out here outworking y'all. And I'm like, time out. So you're telling me that in order to succeed, I shouldn't sleep? You're telling me that I shouldn't take time to enjoy what I have? And I disagree with that. I respect where he's coming from. I understand where he was coming from, because everything that he said wasn't wrong. I'll say about 85% was correct. But that 15% made me pause. Oftentimes we will sit there and we will try to compensate. And I don't know this young man's past. He could have had a great life, could have had a bad life. I have no idea. But we will let what we're trying to get to dictate our actions, versus letting it be like soil and planting seeds for us to grow in. And if we let it dictate to us, what we end up doing is we start picking up these bad habits. So you will succeed in the business, but your health will fail. You will make money, but then you will lose family. You will you will reach that goal, but then you'll feel unfulfilled. So there's a lot of things that you have to monitor and let it serve as motivation. Let it be that pushing force to get to where you need to get to and where you want to get to achieve those goals. But you don't want it to dictate to you, because once it dictates, it starts taking over. And then we start making bad choices.